Hello and welcome to my final project for leading PLCs. First we're going to go over the who, why, and how of a PLC. So why PLCs? PLCs are formed for several reasons, the main reason being to solve a common problem within a school. Instead of administration trying to take on all the responsibilities, PLCs can help avoid that by creating different teams within the school to solve problems. Often PLCs are established before a problem is even presented. In this case, the PLC will decide on a problem area that needs improvement, and they'll then form a plan of action. Who? So the principal of a school should first, according to DeFore and DeFore, move a staff from working in isolation or working in small informal groups to working as members of a high-performing collaborative team. This is the base of who forms the PLC. Some of the common grouping for PLCs will include grade level teams, department or subject area teams, interdisciplinary teams, logical link teams, district or regional teams. How? So PLCs function by planning with a purpose. This means that groups should decide or understand their mission, be open to feedback, and use this feedback in the planning process, and be flexible yet realistic. It also means functioning as a group, not an individual. If not, the PLC will then fail. It's not the decision you make, but how your message is responded. A PLC in action. The purpose of this PLC is to monitor student learning through common strategies. In my school, we're very small, so it would make the most sense for us to focus on a common strategy that students can use throughout their different classes during the day. During our first meeting, our PLC brainstormed our biggest individual issues and compared them to one another. We finally decided to focus on the writing across the curriculum would benefit students in classes as well as standardized testing in college and career readiness. Rationalizing. While deciding that writing should be a focus for our group, I questioned myself and the other group members using DeFore and DeFore's accountability questions. These questions are why, what, how, when, guiding questions, quality questions, and assurance questions. These were to be used throughout each PLC that we did and at appropriate times. Principals or leaders should be prepared to answer these, and this is what I try to model for my PLC. The design of the PLC. This PLC was designed to encompass all subject areas taught on our campus. This way we would ensure that solving a school-wide issue such as writing across the curriculum, we would have all the departments involved and everyone would get a chance to see how the writing is used, why it needs to be used, and where we can grow. So the PLC makeup was an English teacher, history teacher, career and technical education teacher, a science teacher, and a math department teacher. So our meeting designs. So every meeting we always started and ended as a whole group. This was to be sure that we are all on the same page when we began and what our mission was for that particular PLC. And when we end, we like to debrief ideas. So just in case I was isolated from someone else, I was able to hear what they had to say or what they came up with during their group time as a whole, and we could discuss that. We often had common breakout sessions, which included department breakout sessions, common subjects, and this doesn't mean math and math. It was closely linked subjects such as a math and a science teacher or an English and a history teacher. We also had opposite or vertical breakout sessions, which would include maybe a math and an English teacher working together, or a CTE and a history teacher working together, someone that probably wouldn't normally be put together under normal circumstances. And we also did experience-based, so partnering two veteran teachers or partnering a veteran with a new teacher just to kind of get a wide range of ideas. The impact. So the goal of this PLC was to create common writing strategies and assessment in order to grow students' writing skills to prepare them to be college and career ready. Some of the strategies included writing formulas, common grading rubrics, peer grading, strategic short and long-term planning. As a result, I believe our PLC did accomplish the mission that we set out to do. All students who were participating in our writing groups were able to follow the formula we came up with to show textual evidence in their writing. Some students, of course, were able to grasp its concept better, but at a minimum, all students from all ranges were able to at least put their sentences together in the format that we gave them. So we decided that with time we could grow everyone's writing above what our baseline strategy is, and we plan on doing this next year, and I also plan on sharing the strategy and this project with administration to show them. A self-assessment of my leadership, pros and cons. So my cons are next steps for leadership. I need to let go of needing to be in control of everything. I felt the need not necessarily to lead everything, but to be involved in everything, and this became overwhelming at times. So I need to learn how to step back and let teachers do what they do best and lead in the classroom. I also need more confidence to lead my peers. Oftentimes I felt kind of bad or kind of awkward telling my teammates what to do, especially the ones with more experience than me. And I need to work on that. And also communication. Sometimes when I have an idea in mind, it's hard for me to explain it, so I need to step back and find good ways to communicate with my peers. Pros of my leadership. I believe I'm creative, and I believe this helped with the organization of the breakout sessions and activities that we did within those sessions. Organizational skills, I think that I was able to organize the PLCs quickly and easily, and where everyone was on the same page. Also, my responsibility. I'm a big person on responsibility, and I think this helped me throughout, because the teachers who are not so responsible with their work, I was able to communicate with them clearly and kind of help get them on track so our PLC was on track. And my ability to listen. I felt like I gave everyone enough time to express their thoughts and understand those thoughts, and even if they didn't agree with the group, I was able to listen and talk them through it. And my references, and thank you for listening to my presentation.